Daleks on stage. My name is Matthew Kressel, and I adapted and I suppose directed might be the phrase. Tonight's reading of this story, for those who don't know, The Power of the Daleks was originally broadcast 50 years ago this November on the BBC, and then subsequently disappeared from the BBC archives in the 1970s. Today, there is a combined total of 3 minutes of footage from this story. So what we're going to do this evening is bring to life a new stage version of this story. It's going to run between about an hour and 70 minutes. And I'm just going to go around and everybody can introduce themselves and who they're playing. So, starting on the end there, Andy, introduce yourself.
Andy Arnold and I'll be Valmer tonight.
Alright, I'm Melissa Braswell. I will be Governor Hensel.
I'm Peter Svocek. I'll be playing all three guards.
I'm Emily Schaefer and I'll be playing the narrator.
Hi, I'm Sean Tracy. I'll be playing Bregan.
My name is Lauren Carlton, and I am playing Quinn.
My name is Andy Case, and I will be playing Lesterson.
My name is Ryan McCann, and I'll be your doctor this evening.
My name is Kareem Omar, and I will be playing Ben Jackson. And
Dalek number 2.
As well as adapting and directing, I will also be
The voice of the Daleks.
My name is Valerie McMurdy and I will be... Valerie McMurdy and I will be playing the part of Polly. I'm Joanna Diatley and I will be Jen Lee.
I'm Daphne Noble and I will be Keeble. Kebble?
So, Ms. Schaefer, take us away.
All right. On a rocky landscape, the familiar shape of a 1960s Metropolitan Police box appears. After a moment, the TARDIS door opens and the Doctor exits. After taking a couple of steps, he stops abruptly.
Are you coming, you two?
Ben and Polly, his companions, step out of the TARDIS.
you have no idea where we are, do you?
Ben...
Know exactly where we are.
The Doctor consults the 500-year diary and flips through it hurriedly. He reads a section, then shoves it into his pocket.
We're on the planet Vulcan.
You're serious?
See? I told you.
It's an Earth colony. It was named after some planet from an old TV series, apparently. Typical humans never do anything logical, do you?
And where is Vulcan?
It's what's known as a rogue planet. It entered Earth's solar system in the early 21st century, and within decades there was a colony established on it, created by a consortium calling itself IMC, Interplanetary Mining Corporation.
Two figures wearing the black uniforms of the IMC appear.
Hello? Hello there! How can we help you?
Are you the inspection team from corporate?
Inspection team?
Of course we are.
Then why didn't you land at the designated site? You're lucky you didn't end up getting a bad dose of mercury fumes landing here in the swamp.
Well, I do apologize. We had a technical malfunction.
You can say that again.
And who are you two exactly?
I'm Quinn, the deputy governor.
Bregan, Chief of Security.
I see. Well,
Can you tell us why corporate has chosen to send an examiner? Just now, I mean.
you don't know?
Well, you weren't due for another 2 years.
Doctor, maybe you'd like to introduce us?
But of course. These are my assistants, Ben Jackson and Polly Wright.
Let's get all back, shall we? I suppose you can't wait to examine Lesterson's capsule?
What?
Capsule? Is it far away?
That's a breach of security.
No, it's all right. I'm interested. It was the capsule that brought us here. Where's this capsule?
It'll be in the first building we'll come to. I'll take you there.
Quinn and Bregan exit, leaving the TARDIS crew for a few moments.
What capsule? What report? The one I picked up in the TARDIS that brought us here. Something strange is going on here, and I intend to find out what. Now, come on.
Inside a nearby building, Lesterson is sitting in his laboratory, working on the tablet computer. His assistant, Janley, walks into the room.
Lesterson,
What is it?
is an examiner from corporate coming in?
An examiner? What's he here for?
Thought you'd know.
Oh, it's the capsule. It must be. Hensel's always been difficult about it. But surely they wouldn't send someone all the way from Earth just to...
Look, what about the meeting?
Meeting?
Yes, I arranged everything. Can we still use the old storage room?
Yes, I suppose so. But I do wish you wouldn't get mixed up with these rebel groups, Janley.
Somebody has to do something.
Janley?
If we ran things, you'd have better facilities. More money. I wish you'd take an interest.
Now look, don't try to involve me. That capsule is what I find important. 200 years in a mercury swamp and still in excellent condition.
Wonderful.
Rain, damp, heat, mercury even. Nothing touches this metal. No corrosion, Janley. Think of that.
Well, I hope the examiner lets you go on with your experiment. You know, I think the governor's brought the examiner here to stop your work. You should join our group, Lesterson. You might need us one day.
The doctor, Polly, Ben, Quinn, and Bragan enter.
Who is this?
The doctor pulls the badge holder containing his psychic paper from his pocket.
I'm the examiner, see?
IMC Examiner. Accord every access. Why are you here?
I would like to ask the same question.
Hensel, the governor of Vulcan, walks into the room.
Examiner, this is Hensel, the governor.
Well, why are you here?
To examine, obviously.
Well, if Earth had seen fit to warn us you were coming...
If Earth didn't warn you we were coming, they must have had a very good reason. I wonder what it was.
Now look here. I run this colony. I'm entitled to know why you have come to Vulcan. What is your brief?
I'm the examiner. Do I need more reason?
Someone's leaked reports about these rebel groups. That's it, isn't it?
There is Lesterson's capsule.
Internal affairs are my business, Bragan. Please don't interfere.
Please go on.
Lesterson?
It was found in a mercury swamp during our initial mining efforts. We built my lab on top of the site once we drained away the mercury.
How long had it been there?
It must have been here for 2 centuries at least.
Interesting. Continue.
It took some effort, but we finally managed to get it open.
You opened it? I said...
That it might be dangerous, yes, I know. A possibility, but a remote one, especially with all the safety precautions we take.
What did you find inside?
Ah, that's the most interesting thing. We found occupants.
Occupants? You mean extraterrestrials?
Yes, I suppose you could term them as such. They appear to be more machines than anything else, though.
Cybermen, maybe?
Possibly, Ben. Though I doubt it. Lesterson, can I see one of these occupants?
Why not? It shouldn't be too difficult. Governor?
If the examiner commands it.
Lesterson signals for Janley, and the two of them disappear for a moment. They return, pushing the familiar-looking metal casing of a Dalek in front of them.
Everyone, meet the Daleks.
What?
The Daleks.
You know what it is?
Indeed I do. It's an immensely dangerous alien creature, a ball of hate, inside a tank with only one goal: extermination.
Well, it looks harmless. Not very lively.
What do you think? 200 years in a swamp, and you wouldn't look very lively either. Nothing could live through that, could it?
Nothing human. No. Perhaps, Lesterson, you've been experimenting on the Daleks?
What are you talking about?
But they're things. I mean, they're dead. They must be.
Listen to me, all of you. This creature and any others like it must be destroyed at once.
Destroyed?
Oh, yes. This one Dalek is dangerous enough as it is.
One Dalek?
Yes! All that is needed to wipe out this entire colony. They're dangerous, evil.
Lumps of metal, quite inactive. I consider it my duty as a scientist to examine and investigate these objects. Now, please, all of you, keep out of my laboratory. Keep your hands off my experiments.
Those lumps of metal, Daleks, I want them broken up or melted down, up or down. I don't care which, but destroyed.
I won't allow it.
I am an Earth examiner. I demand it.
You're exceeding your authority.
Perhaps we should ask the governor about that.
All eyes turn to Hensel, who is silent for a moment before she finally speaks.
I'll let you know of my decision in the morning. Excuse me.
Hensel, Quinn, and the doctor march from the room, closely followed by Ben, Polly, and Bragan. Lesterson, who is still fuming, walks over to Janley.
She won't stop the experimenting. Janley, get the equipment ready. We need to work quickly.
Are you sure? After what the examiner said?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, get the equipment ready then.
Janley exits, leaving Lesterson alone with the Dalek. He walks over to it and puts an arm around it.
There must be some way to bring you back to life, and I'm going to find it.
A few minutes later, the doctor, Ben, Polly, and Bragan enter the guest quarters. Ben and Polly sit down in 2 chairs while the doctor and Bragan continue to stand.
And of course, you do have the right of any access.
Which is why I have a badge which says so.
Lesterson watches over his ideas like a mother hen.
There's a bomb under this floor, time to go off any minute. Would you ask permission before you ripped it up the floor?
Examiner. It's up to you, of course, but I'd advise a little discretion in your investigation. It's not a very good time just now with all these disturbances.
Disturbances?
Yes, minor acts of sabotage, rebel cliques. Nothing major to understand, but it keeps the governor busy. I have no doubt she'll tell you about it herself.
Thank you. Good night, Brigham.
With a final look at the doctor, Briggan starts to walk from the room. Quinn tries to enter the room.
I'm sorry, Quinn. You'll need a special pass to see the examiner.
Says who?
It's the governor's idea.
Surely it doesn't apply to me.
It's not my order, Quinn. I expect the governor wants to keep people away from him.
It sounded like one of your red tape ideas.
It had nothing to do with me.
Right.
The doctor tries to say something, but Quinn leaves before he can say a word. Briggan turns around, a triumphant look on his face.
Good night, examiner.
Briggan exits, leaving the TARDIS crew alone.
Is there something about my face that says, don't listen to me?
Why don't we just leave? Let them sort out their own problems.
Because all is not well here, then Lesterson's fanatic. The governor's jealous of her own position. What does that suggest to you? Dunno. Hadn't thought about it. This is not all well with this colony. Add to that a Dalek.
I still want to know what you'll do when the real examiner turns up.
Yes, where is he, the real examiner?
Good question. Here's another one. Who asked for him to come?
Well, Lesterson wouldn't want anyone looking around.
Reagan said the governor's been having trouble.
Hensel wouldn't ask for help. If she sent the word, it would look as if she couldn't do the job properly.
That's true.
I say we go back to the TARDIS.
Do you? What about the Daleks?
They're dead.
For now. And that's why we have to stay. I know the misery they caused, the destruction.
The doctor suddenly jumps to his feet and heads to the door.
Where are you going? To contact Earth. Governor or not, Hensel will have to listen to me. I'll get IMCHQ to back me.
The doctor takes only a couple of steps before there's an explosion.
That was close by. Sounded like an IED.
Quinn races into the room.
Quinn, what happened?
Someone sabotaged the communications array with a bomb.
A bomb?
Yes, and nearly killed me as well. They murdered a technician too.
So we have no way of contacting Earth?
None. Now look, I've been trying to talk to you ever since you got here.
Reagan enters unannounced.
Examiner, are you all right? Quinn,
What do you want?
where have you been?
I went to the communications room and nearly got blown up.
The only people who'd want to do that are the rebels.
You're not suggesting.
I'm suggesting that you were sabotaging the communications.
That's a lie.
Having first attacked one of the engineers, I detained the governor on evidence like that.
I hope you're not thinking of detaining me, Reagan.
I have no option. I could hardly let you run around loose after this, could I? Guard!
I'm warning you, Reagan.
Quinn, I suggest you go with Mr. Bragan, if only to ease his mind.
All right, Examiner. You win this time, but we'll see what it looks like in front of the governor.
Indeed we will. Guard!
A guard appears.
Sir?
Take her away to the holding area. We'll speak to the governor in the morning.
Quinn and the guard exit. Briggan turns back to the doctor.
Till tomorrow morning, then?
Briggan nods and exits.
What are we going to do about Quinn, Doctor?
Nothing we can do until morning.
So that's it then?
For now. Let's get some rest. I suspect we have a rough day ahead of us.
In Lesterson's laboratory the next morning, the scientist is busy working on the Dalek as Janley enters.
Good morning, Janley. Get some rest.
A bit. Hard to sleep with all the commotion after that bomb. You say Quinn's been arrested and Resno got killed.
Shame about Resno. He was a good technician. If he'd been here and not in communications last night, things might have gone faster while you were gone.
You were close when I left. Did you finish it?
Yes, I did. I feel quite excited.
So you should. It's a wonderful achievement.
Yes, yes. But the wonderful thing, Janley, is that we don't know the full scope of this yet. Who knows where we may go from here? Who knows what this Dalek may do?
You're certain it's harmless now?
As far as I can tell.
Lesterson points to the Dalek's stubby gun.
Still not sure what this thing does, though.
So what's next then?
Help me get the Dalek to the governor's office. Let's go and surprise them.
In Hensel's office, Quinn's inquiry is about to start. Everyone is assembled around a simple arrangement of a desk and a few chairs.
Well, Quinn, I don't like this any more than you do. What have you been up to?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, what about Bragan's report then? These are facts, Quinn. Now what have you got to say about it?
It's circumstantial evidence.
We also have a button from your jacket found with the dead technician Resno. Can you explain that?
No, I can't.
I'm sure you can't.
Bragan, please. Now examine it.
The doctor, lost in his own thoughts, suddenly stands up.
You seem to be in two minds. You mentioned that these machines of Lesterson's, what do you call them?
I call them what they are. Daleks.
Daleks, then. You say they could be a motive for destroying the communications array.
I do, and
Suddenly, Lesterson walks into the room, a smug expression on his face.
Not now, Lesterson.
This can't wait. You won't be disappointed.
Lesterson.
Governor, I've just completed an experiment which could revolutionize the whole colony.
Lesterson, what have you done?
I'll show you.
Everybody sits riveted as the Dalek glides into the room on its own power. The doctor moves back slightly and shakes his head in disbelieving despair. The Dalek swivels its eye stick around its captive audience and suddenly focuses directly on the doctor. Both the doctor and the Dalek edge away from each other. The doctor collapses into a chair behind him, stiff with fright.
It recognized the doctor. It recognized him.
What's the matter, Doctor? Are you all right?
Fools. Those stupid fools.
You're scared. What can it do?
Nothing yet.
It knew who you were.
Well, we go back a very, very long way.
Now, this creation is called, as I understand, a Dalek. Look at it. I have merely given it electrical power, but it is capable of storing it. Moreover, it responds to orders. Well, just think what this could do for our mining program, our processing, our packaging. Dozens of labor jobs, Governor. It may even supply the end to all this colony's problems.
Yes, it will end the colony's problems because it will end the colony.
I am your servant.
It talks.
Oh, it can do many things. But the thing it does most efficiently is exterminating human beings. Destroys them without mercy.
I am your
without
servant.
conscience.
I am your
Without
servant.
reason.
I am your servant.
All right, that's enough. It's obviously intelligent, but can we control it, Lesterson?
I believe so. But I need to run more tests.
But you can't, Tinsel.
Governor, think what it would mean if we were to set it to work in the mines. It could double our production overnight.
Consider the effect you'd have on our economy.
Yes, and the profits for the corporation. Yes, they would be very grateful.
But didn't you hear all I said? The Daleks must be destroyed.
Never!
The doctor turns towards the door, but Hensel holds up her hand.
Examiner, why are you so against this project?
I've told you. I realize I can't give you any proof, but you've no idea of the danger. Yes, they're dangerous. I shall be contacting Earth just as soon as communications have been restored.
The doctor starts to leave, followed by Ben and Polly. He pauses as he passes the Dalek.
You're my servant, are you?
I am.
Very well. Immobilize yourself. Go on, I order it. Immediately.
The Dalek renders itself immobile. Its eyes and sucker stick droop lifelessly towards the ground.
I bet a buffalo nickel it won't stay that way for long.
The doctor strides from the room. Ben and Polly quickly follow. Slightly concerned at the Dalek's inactiveness, Lesterson approaches the metal creation. Suddenly, the Dalek resumes its normal posture.
Lesterson!
Why did you stop obeying? You were given an order.
He has gone.
Then you obey only.
His order was wrong. I cannot serve human beings if I am immobilized. I am your servant.
So it can think for itself.
Now there's no cause for concern, anyone. Just you wait until you see the amount of work it can do.
Perhaps it would be best if we placed some guards around your lab for security reasons.
Fine with me, just as long as I can continue with my work.
Of course.
And now, I'm really going to put you through your paces. Follow me, Dalek!
I obey.
The Dalek follows Lesterson from the laboratory.
Shall we continue, Governor?
Must we?
Yes, we must. Now, Quinn, why have you allied yourself with the rebels?
What? I'm the one who warned of their dangers.
As part of your overall plan.
Reagan, you wouldn't even take the matter seriously.
If I was wrong then, I have a chance to rectify it now.
If that's going to be your attitude, I suggest...
The button found belonged to you, Quinn.
Yes, if you've got anything to add to that, you'd better say it now.
I didn't attack anyone. I had no reason to. I was the one who sent for the examiner to begin with.
You sent for him?
It was necessary under the circumstances. I'd hardly be likely to sabotage communications.
But why, Quinn? Why?
Because of the rebels.
The rebels. They're nothing more than a couple of idiots.
You know as well as I do that they...
Unless you're trying to create trouble here. To undermine the governor's position.
Reagan, you'd better explain that.
If you're removed, who takes your place? The deputy governor, of course. And that's the real reason behind all this trouble, isn't it, Quinn?
Get her out of my sight.
Sneering triumphantly at Quinn, Reagan gestures to the guard to escort Quinn away. The guard immediately obeys, and Hensel watches sadly as Quinn is marched away.
I chose Quinn myself. I trained her for the job. Why, in a few years' time, she'd have had this seat.
Sometimes, Governor, a few years is a long time to wait.
Hensel is about to dismiss Reagan when she holds up her hand.
Oh, Reagan?
Governor?
I'm leaving for an inspection. Until I come back, you're acting deputy governor.
Thank you, ma'am.
In a corridor nearby, the doctor, Ben, and Polly are slowly walking as the doctor thinks.
Now what are you up to?
Quiet, Ben. The doctor knows what he's doing. I think.
Maybe.
As they walk along, Quinn and the guard approach them.
Oh, Examiner, don't let them fool you about the rebels. They're strong, stronger than they think. Try and find out where they hold their meetings.
Leave her alone!
As Quinn is dragged away, Polly moves forward to help, but the doctor restrains her.
They'll help her, Polly, but later.
But...
Now, this is a case where a little injustice is better than wholesale slaughter. What we want is in Lesterson's laboratory. Maybe I can talk some sense into it, given the chance.
You can go ahead.
And where are you going?
To get some rest.
Oh, come on.
No rest, Ben. We've been running around this colony non-stop since we arrived. We'll catch up with you later.
See you later.
The doctor and Ben leave her. Polly turns around, takes a couple of steps, and stops, looking lost. Janley enters.
Hello there.
Hello. You're Lesterson's assistant, aren't you?
Yes, you look a little lost.
I am. Trying to find our rooms.
Oh, you'll find it easy enough. Look, around there, then to your right, in the next block.
Thank you very much.
Polly walks past her as Belmer, one of the technicians, enters holding a package.
Come on, Belmer, it's safe now.
Who was that?
One of the examiner's assistants. Did you have any luck with that package?
Yes, I think I figured out how it works.
Valmar opens the package and removes from it a Dalek gun.
Good. What about the range?
It should have quite a good range, and it seems a number of energy settings as well.
Can you fix it?
That should be fairly easily. What is it exactly?
What's gonna put us in charge?
What if the examiner causes trouble?
He won't. I think it's time we take care of his friend.
Back in the guest quarters, the doctor is sitting down while Ben paces the room.
She said she was coming back here. She knew the way, and she wouldn't have wandered off. I know she wouldn't.
Ben, if you were a Dalek, what would be your next move?
What? I'm talking about Polly.
Oh, she's clever. I'm sure she's fine.
But she is missing.
She's looking around. There's a lot to see in the colony. She's interested. I like that.
Ben grabs hold of the doctor's arm and leads him to the door.
Come on.
Where are we going?
To report it. If we make fools of ourselves, I don't care.
Just then, Reagan and Lesterson enter the room.
We were coming to see you.
Leston is asking for permission to reactivate the other two Daleks.
Are you insane? I've already explained to you the danger. They must be destroyed.
If you can't present any evidence, I have no choice but to give Lesterson carte blanche with the Daleks.
The doctor stands silent for a moment and then shakes his head.
I shall need a permanent guard on my laboratory, Reagan. I want no interruptions from anyone.
Very well.
With the doctor glaring at Lesterson, the scientist leaves the room.
Greed and ambition, that's all it is. Wait till they find out what their precious profits have cost them.
I want to talk to you, Reagan.
What about?
It's Polly. She's missing. We can't find her anywhere.
I'll tell the guards to make inquiries. It shouldn't take long to find her.
Thank you.
Reagan turns to leave, but then turns back around.
Examiner, we managed to reconstruct some of the communications from the destroyed center.
Oh?
Including a communication about your visit.
And?
Well, you are the examiner. Or maybe you're not.
Just exactly what do you mean by that?
Who are you? Earthbursters? Galactic conservation?
There's only one possible way you could know I'm not the examiner.
That's enough.
Is it? Doctor, we've got to tell the governor.
Do you think she'll believe you? Besides, she's out on a tour, and without internal communications, can't be reached anyways.
Then why don't you arrest us?
Because there's a doubt, isn't there? Because it just might go against you.
All right, so neither of us wants to make a move. But you leave Lesterson alone. and the Daleks.
Reagan leaves the room.
What do we do now?
Well, it's clear Bragan won't help. We'll just have to look into it ourselves. Come on.
In the laboratory, Lesterson stands next to a power generator. One Dalek is next to him, the other two across the room.
All right, Dalek. Did you disarm your two comrades?
Yes, we are your servants. We do not require weapons.
I'm very glad. I knew the examiner was wrong about you.
When will you turn on the power?
I already have.
Systems are online. Power is being restored. We will get our power. We will get our power. We will get our power. We will get our power.
The Daleks turn to Lesterson. A slight frown appears on Lesterson's face. Lesterson moves forward and turns the power supply dial from full to half. The Daleks are immediately drained.
Restore the power supply!
I will, but I want you to remember that I control you.
We are your servants!
I know. Now remember that. I gave you each enough power to bring you back to life. Any further must come from this generator, and I control it. Is that clear?
We obey!
Lesterson turns the power supply dial back to full power. The Daleks are immediately restored to their former condition. Two of the Daleks swiftly glide back into the capsule.
Where are you going?
To await your orders, Master.
Good. I'm glad we understand each other.
We understand the human mind, Master.
Good. I'll make a report with Bragan. Stay here.
We obey.
Lesterson exits, leaving the Dalek alone.
We are not ready yet to teach these human beings the law of the Daleks.
Back in the corridor, Janley is pinning a piece of paper onto the notice board as Valmar walks toward her.
You better check the agenda.
I'll do it now.
As Janley walks off, Valmar starts scanning the notice board. The Doctor and Ben enter.
Doctor!
Ben indicates to the Doctor to look at Valmar. Valmar walks away as two Daleks glide past.
It's madness.
What is?
Letting them run around like this.
Ben shakes his head and looks back at the notice board.
You know, I wonder what the fascination with this notice board is.
Looks like a perfectly ordinary notice board to me.
Yeah, well, come on, Doctor. We've got to find out who has Polly. Doctor, come on!
Inside the laboratory, Lesterson approaches Janley with a piece of paper in his hands.
Janley,
What is it?
the Daleks. They've given me a list of materials they need for some essential repairs to their capsule.
Let me see. We've got all these things, don't we?
Yes, but why these quantities, Janley? Why? What do they need the materials for anyway?
Maybe they're building new things for us.
Yes, well, I don't want them to do anything without consulting me. What is it they do inside there?
You worry too much.
Look, Janley, say what you like, but I'm beginning to believe that the examiner is right about the Daleks. Their original thinking terrifies me. We can control them, fine, but if not,
Yes?
then I shall have them destroyed.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Why not?
At that moment, the Doctor and Ben stride into the laboratory.
The guard was told no one was to be allowed in.
Court every access, remember?
We're looking for Polly.
Well, she isn't here and I haven't seen her.
Two Daleks appear from within the capsule for a moment before leaving the room.
Lesterson,
Yes?
you haven't been building Daleks, have you?
Building? No, I wouldn't know how to begin.
And there were only 3 in the capsule?
Yes?
We've just seen 4. 2 here and 2 in the corridor.
But that's not possible.
There's only one explanation. The Daleks are reproducing themselves.
These things are machines. How could they reproduce?
Machines? What makes you think they're just machines? The Daleks are living creatures, brilliant engineers in their own way. Nothing is beyond them given the right materials.
What?
I said nothing is beyond them given the right materials.
Oh, no.
Lesterson, what's the matter?
Leave him alone. He's just overworked, that's all.
He looks horrified.
Will you both go away? Guard! It's you, badgering him with questions. You've done nothing but hound him since you arrived. The guard!
The guard enters the room.
Bragan's orders were that no one was to be admitted.
Yes, but I thought that